If you could go back in time and says like, hey, is there any advice that you would give to yourself?
Yeah, my main thing that I look back and my regrets are always overthinking stuff and not just doing. Just do. Just fucking do it. Like I'm just starting an events brand now, properly. We're just doing label pies. Why is it taking me this long? Because I've kept overthinking it. Oh, I shouldn't do it now because just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just get it done. Because if it doesn't work, so what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You get up, you try again, like everything else. I mean, you've got to be pretty thick-skinned in this game. And like, remember that teeny thing, fail better?
Yeah.
So you just fail better.
Yeah,
like you're going to fail, aren't you, until you succeed. So you might as well
Yeah.
start and get... So that, my number
Taking
one,
action,
just
essentially.
taking action and stop overthinking. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can totally co-sign that. If I had to give some advice to my younger self, is to just get off your ass and fucking do things, you know?
Totally, exactly.
Like, whenever I got off my ass and actually did things, good things happened.
Good things happen.
You know, like...
Life gives back to you. If you put energy out there and you give to life, it always gives back. And look, sometimes it might be, even if you're trying to figure out like, oh, I don't know whether I want to do this or not, well, try it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, great, you've ticked that off and you definitely know you don't like that now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel also it's like it's almost impossible for you to do good work and then being overlooked. Like, you must be doing something seriously wrong to do very good work and being overlooked.
Yeah.
If you're consistent and you're doing good work, if you're putting on a great party, whatever, like, people will notice. Remember that quote from the Field of Dreams? Build it and they will come. They will come, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's such a beautiful sentence, you know? Like,
absolutely.
Because, like, just build it and they will come.
The only thing I would say on that is I think it's harder now when if you're not flavour of the month, your music can be as good as you want. But if you're not flavour of the month, then people will just scroll straight past you.
Yeah.
And because that's what it's down to now. It's not down to going into the record shop and putting a needle on a record and going, that's a banger. Who's it by?
Yeah.
It's not that way around anymore. It's, oh, who's this? Let's listen to the music. It's literally, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, because everyone's consuming their music on their phone and stuff, they'll just, they won't even listen. You know what I mean? So I think that's completely changed. I remember going the other day, I was driving in London, there was a billboard that said, discover new music on TikTok. I was like, no,
you don't.
No.
You don't discover new music on TikTok at all.
Do not. It's like it's just.
I mean, like YouTube, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you go down a YouTube rabbit hole and you find some amazing stuff.
YouTube is unbelievable. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But that whole thing is just really, especially the way that the algorithms work, and people make these TikTok edits and they do like sped up versions, slow down versions. The intro's only a quarter of a second long. It's like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Where's it going to end up?
Yeah.
Because it's certainly taking away from the art form of music. That's, I 100% feel that the passion and the artistry is disappearing. I mean, there's definitely pockets where that's not the case. Like some of the more headsy festivals, more headsy parties, that's still alive and well.
I think that's always going to exist, and they're
totally.
sort of, they're actively steering against that trend, you know. But yeah, like, I mean, I see this a lot as well, and something I'm concerned about, especially what I'm concerned about is its demands on young artists in terms of what they have to achieve on social media and how their social media has to look, you know. It can't just be a video of a gig anymore. It has to be filmed in a certain way, you know. It has to be filmed by somebody who really knows what they're doing, you know. Like, how does a middle tier DJ even now get good footage without like spending, a quarter of his money on a videographer?
Totally. I think also the other thing is it's even developed from that. It's not just that. It's now doing stuff in the video that's eye-catching, like, without mentioning any names, the headscarf phenomenon.
Oh my
right?
God, yeah. Or a certain dance,
or a certain dance,
movement.
or eating a pizza, or some... It's things like that now. Gimmicks that get ahead. So it's not about music anymore, is it? It's about videos.
But how do we solve this? Like, who does the responsibility lie with? Is it with the promoters? Is it with the artists? Look, should the artist not play that game?
I think the thing is, because that sort of 1% percentile is getting squeezed even more and more and more, where there's less and less clubs that you can play, and it's all festivals. It's all so the middle class of DJ has been completely eaten out, right? So there is none anymore. So it's either you're an up and comer or you're massive. And how do you get massive? It's by making silly videos. You're not going to get massive without.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean, you might get the odd person here and there who gets through by pure skill and whatever else, but that's name one.
Yeah.
Name one.
Yeah.
Seriously, I can't.
Yeah.
You know. So
I feel in the UK there's some up and coming artists that are kind of popping off and are being successful. I'm thinking especially of like people like Max Dean, Luke Dean.
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking top tier. I'm talking like, you know,
are like,
but these guys are doing wicked music,
yeah,
and they're doing it the right way.
Who are doing really amazing music,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem to be built on like a social media
No,
hype. It
but
seems
they
to be-
do great content, and
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I watch that, and it doesn't make my skin
Yeah.
crawl. Like I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like their
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
most of it really like I can't even go on Instagram anymore.
Yeah, I feel the same. I don't know. Like I feel a lot of it is very narcissistic, and it's like look at me, and yeah, to a certain extent that's part of the music industry, and it's always been like that. But at the same time, it's like we never used to shove ourselves like into it so much. You know, like I remember when like you know, getting your DJ video at a gig was just like you facing the crowd, and it was like we filmed the crowd was
Totally.
like center,
Yeah.
and it was you. It was like people would see your back, and you'd see the crowd reaction. And that was the way to film a DJ video. And now the way to film your DJ video is in your face, basically,
right up close as well,
right up face, and then you get like a close, a little flick of the crowd at the end, you know. And it's just like, it's just so much more personality driven. And I don't know if that is a good thing to do. I think maybe we as artists and also as promoters, there's a responsibility to push back against this. And one thing that I would really like to see from promoter is just like, don't put people on lineups yet that haven't contributed to the culture in a meaningful way. Like if you're just an influencer, you know, and you are great, you have 2 million followers, you know, but like how many records have you released? You know, like are you really a great DJ?
Just be an influencer festival, where just the influencers go and play, and that's cool, and they can go off and do their stuff.
Let's get the guy from Fire Festival to organize
totally.
it. Yeah, he'll be great at that.
Yeah.
I feel like we've already touched on this. Like I was going to ask you, how has the music industry changed, you know, since you broke through, and kind of just elaborating on what we've just talked about now, how things have changed now. Like what is your advice for young artists who are trying to make it right now? Like what should they focus on? Is it still the same things that were relevant for us, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's changed so much, hasn't it? I mean, from a selfish point of view of what I want to hear and see, I would say focus on in the studio and make great music and learn how to be an exceptional DJ. But I think if you want to be successful, I think it's probably more like really get your head around marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we assume the music's good, like before you even got out the gate. Like if you're good enough to even consider like a serious career, then that's cool. So we probably don't even have to talk about that because the music's already good enough. And actually, some of the music being made now is so good.
Yeah.
Wicked music, man.
I feel the kids have leveled up so much from when we were releasing music.
Do you think that's
like,
a COVID thing? Do you think that was, everyone had...
I don't know. I think it's just production's just an endless game, and
Yeah,
obviously, like people are building and building and building.
Absolutely.
You know.
But for me, I think it's really it's made me get even more excited about DJing because I feel like because the music's so good, I fucking love DJing so much now because like sometimes when you're playing, you're like, and you do like a mix where accidentally something will happen, which is like, two things happen at once where it double drops and something sounds
Happy
amazing,
accidents.
and you're like, fuck, this is really good. Like, this is really good, Where I think before, where the music was different, right, and it was more loopy, like during the Cecile era, it's great music and it's fun and it's groovy, but like the sort of the whole, I really like the fact that the acids come back in and there's a lot more old school elements and stuff like that. It's
and
a lot
really
more
hooky
fun.
and melody hooks
Exactly.
are like a big thing now.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's a lot more fun to play.
I had to really adapt as a producer, to go like, okay, go like the game's changed. Everybody's leveled up. You really got to play with your call and response, different melody hooks.
Yeah.
Loads of different melody hooks in one track. Where in the past there would be like one,
just one, or maybe two.
Or maybe
but now
two.
it's sections.
Now it's like different sections, like that section and that section and that section, and like it's really leveled up. And I'm still excited about the music being. I've been more excited than ever about the music that's being released. So I share those feelings about that. Certainly with the music side of things, we're in a great place.